guys, it's Reagan, and guess what? Summer's almost here. That is right. Summer is upon us, and actually my last final of the semester is taking place tomorrow, which is exciting. Well, potentially my last final. Just depends on some final grades, and then, you know, I might take some optional finals. You get the point. So in honor of summer coming, I thought it would be a fun video idea to talk about with you the books I really want to get to read this summer. So about 6 months ago, actually, I made top 10 books I want to read in the year 2016, and I'm happy to say I'm like 50% done with that list. So some of the books that were in that video are on here, but I have a lot of different books because obviously, you know, I'm gonna read more than 5 books this summer, guys. The first book on the list I have is Fable Haven by Brandon Mull. I love middle grade, and I have the first 2 books of this series already. Heard fantastic things. I also own like a billion Brandon Mull books, so I would be really happy if I actually started to read one of his books for gosh darn it sake. This is again a middle grade series about 2 siblings who go stay with their grandfather for an extended period of time while their parents are traveling. When they get there, they find out that their grandfather lives in like a creature sanctuary, and a whole bunch of antics go off from there. Again, I've heard great things. And I just love fantasy middle grade. It's a great thing. Next on my list I have Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I have had this book since January. This book came out in January, and it's May, and I haven't picked it up yet. And I've heard, again, fantastic things about this. This is a YA fantasy following a whole bunch of different types of witches that have a lot of different powers. I don't know much about this because I kind of like to go in blind, especially into fantasy books, but I do know this houses some amazing female friendship and some great magic systems, which usually is always a win for me. And I know book 2 is getting a lot of hype. They just released the cover. I want to jump on this bandwagon because I jumped on the Six of Crow bandwagon, and I have never regretted that a day in my life. So I'm hoping this will be a similar feel, not of like the story, but like how great it is, you know? You're gonna notice a trend of a lot of fantasy. I'm just giving you a warning. Next we have The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rutowski. This is the 3rd and final book to the Winter's trilogy. This recently came out, so I'm not totally behind on this yet, but at the same time, I want to finish it. I don't want to get into my bad habit of waiting like 2 years to read the 3rd book in a series, because I often do that. It's bad. Especially if I like the series, I'll put off the last book for as long as I can. This is an amazing low fantasy YA series following a main character who's not very great at fighting, but she's very smart, musically driven, and great with politics. So it's very politically heavy, and I love political dramas, fantasy, court maneuvering. It's really great, and this is well done. And I'm so pumped they decided to keep this cover and make sure it matched, because they totally changed the cover to make her look like a fighter when she's not a fighter. It makes no sense, and it makes me angry, so we're gonna move on. Next up I have The Summer Garden by Paulina Simon. This is the 3rd and final book to like the Tatiana and Alexander Bronze Horseman epic historical fiction love story. I've been reading 1 book in this series every summer now for going on 3 years. This summer will be the 3rd year, and I just really enjoy it. Summer's a great time to read something like this, at least for me, so I'm looking forward to picking this up probably around July. This one's pretty long. It's over 700 pages, but there's a lot of resolution that's gotta happen, and there's a lot going on, and my heart is like, I don't know if I can even handle it. Again, this is a historical fiction romance drama set in Russia during World War II. It starts during the siege of Leningrad, and it is intense, a little ridiculous. But like, for me, I enjoy it. When you kind of like get over the ridiculousness and like the absurdity of the relationship, you just get addicted to it like crack. At least I did anyway. The next book I have to talk about is A Court of Mist and Fury by Miss Sarah J. Maas. This is her 2nd book to her like Beauty and the Beast fairy retelling, and I really liked the first one. Came out last year. I'm excited to pick up where that left off. I plan on reading this like next week. Like, this is the book I'm going to pick up next after I finish the book I'm currently reading and currently loving. More about that in another video. But this is just, I'm excited. Sarah J. Maas just knows how to write angsty love relationships so well. So I'm pumped about this. Then we have Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the 4th and final book to the Lunar Chronicles series that came out in December, and I've yet to pick it up. Again, final book in a series. I'm really crap at finishing series in a timely manner, so I just need to read it because, for gosh sakes, if I don't read it now, I don't know if I'm ever gonna pick it up because I just don't want it to end. And I don't know, the Lunar Chronicles are so much fun. They're a breeze to get through. This one's really long. This is like 800 pages or something obscene like that. But, you know, summertime. All I'm doing this summer is working full-time at an ad agency. I'm basically like an episode of Mad Men without all the sexism and drunkenness, I guess. And the last two books I really want to get to this summer go together, and is again another book I haven't shown in a video yet. And that is Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I've obviously read the first two books in the Raven Boys Quartet. The last book just came out. Everyone is flipping their crap about it. And I don't know, I've really enjoyed the first two books and I'm excited to see where the series goes and then ultimately finishes off. And I also feel like I need to read this before the spoiler floodgates can no longer be held back, because I feel like there's going to be a point where they explode and then there'll be no reason for me to read them at all because I'll have been spoiled for everything. Alrighty guys, those are the top books I really want to get to this summer. Let me know down below some of your summer reading plans. Obviously my summer reading plans are pretty fantasy based, but what is new with me? What's new with you? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys soon with another one soon. Goodbye!